If in 20 years or 10 years there's hardly any gray whales out here, people that have been out here are going to go, wait a minute, when I was out here 10 years ago, there were gray whales all over the place. What's going on? Where's all our whales? So, and there's no harpoons on our boat that are used for harpooning anyway. We have some that people can look at, but while most of the time the whales I don't think are at all bothered by our presence, but even let's say if it did bother them, which they did studies actually to determine whether whales were bothered by boats. They actually down in the lagoons in Baja, the scientists, the researchers all believed that boats being down there whale watching were irritating the whales, and so they were trying to get a ban on the commercial whale watching operations going on in this biosphere. So they did studies to prove that the whale watching boats were bothering the whales, and they did these transects where they would observe a whale whenever it was within 100 yards of a boat to see what direction it moved. That was all they did, was just which direction does it move. They know, okay, if if it's moving away from the boats, then we can say, that this boat is scaring them. And so they did these studies, and they ended up figuring out that the whales are approaching the boats. They're coming over to the boats. Yeah.
Curious.
So it was the opposite of what they wanted to prove. They ended up proving that the whales actually like the boats and like the people. So it kind of, so I don't think you could really even make a case that we are bothering them, but assuming that we were bothering them, it still is most of their migration, there's nobody really, next to them. So there's some stretches where there's whale watching, but most of the time they're just, traveling up the coast. There's a lot of desolate, areas where there's no whale watching boats. And down in the lagoons, they come over and let you pet them. When I was just down there a month and a half ago, I've got footage of my daughter, my wife, and I putting our hands inside of the mouth of these gray whales, touching their baleen, their tongues. I mean, they're rolling around. You're petting them. They're just rolling around, and they only do it just because they like the experience of being touched. I mean, there's nobody feeding them. You're not allowed to. They're wild animals. They're just coming over to the boat for the contact. And it's in the same lagoons where they were almost hunted to extinction. You guys can pet some baleen too, even though it's not attached to the whale, but that's some actual baleen there. Sorry, that was a long answer to a short question. Anybody else have a question?
Are those whales we saw, are they migrating back to Alaska at this time?
Those whales are on their way back to the Arctic, yes. They're heading back up to around Alaska. They travel from the Chukchi Sea in Alaska and the Beaufort Sea up there, and even up into Russia, and all the way down to Baja. Some of them go as far as the tip of Baja, but most of them go down to about 600 miles from here down to like San Ignacio and Scammons Lagoon and Mag Bay, and then they travel back up. It's about a 10 to 12,000 mile round trip. It's a very dangerous journey too, guys. With the killer whales, let me show you something here. This is my book, Really a Gray Whale's Odyssey. And if you look in the first page, this is a composite photograph taken from outer space without any clouds. So it's really hard to get a picture with no clouds, especially up in Alaska. But it was taken over several days, and they got this where you can see the world, and you can see the coast here. And this is where Lily was born here, and she travels all the way up here and goes through this pass up here in it's called Unimak Pass up in the Aleutian Islands in Alaska, and then over here by Russia, and then all the way up here. And when she leaves here with her mom, she gets a net wrapped around her tail flukes right about here. Well, actually, she gets caught in the net, breaks free, and then she ends up with just some netting wrapped around her tail flukes. And then as she moves up the coast, she gets attacked by killer whales up in Monterey and almost killed. And then she keeps going, and with her and her mom, and then they encounter more killer whales up here in the Aleutian Islands. And there's about 150 killer whales that are waiting to attack these gray whales up in the Aleutian Island area where that pass is. It's a very, very dangerous pass for them. Almost all the gray whales that go up into this area all pass through that one pass. It's a very narrow pass, and all these killer whales are waiting for them. And then she gets attacked by Aboriginal hunters up here in Russia, and about 140 gray whales are killed every year by Aboriginal hunters up there. They're allowed to kill 140 whales. Actually, it's usually less than that, but they're allowed to kill a maximum of 140. And then she gets caught in the ice up here and loses track of her mom. And then back down here in Dana Point, when she makes it back down there, then that's where I do a disentanglement of her along with a team of people. And it's all based on a real whale that I was involved in disentangling here in Dana Point 2 years ago. And it's her story plus another whale that was found in Eureka, California with 2 harpoons in it, and it had been attacked by killer whales and this was in Eureka, California. So it's based on those 2 whales' life histories. All the pictures in it, you guys look through it? Did you look through the book? Yeah, all the pictures in it are real pictures taken along the migration of these gray whales. About half of them are mine, and the other half are some of the best photographers in the world. And it's really, you won't find a book that has better pictures of gray whales in it anywhere. I mean, that book has got the best. And it's $45 for the book. We donate half of the profits of it to charity. We're donating money right now to kids around the world for kids in Haiti. And we're doing a million meal packing event this month for them. And also have a copy of my film here, which won 7 awards at the International Wildlife Film Festival. And it was a finalist at Wildscreen in England, which is like the Green Oscars. So it did really well at 2 of the 3 most important wildlife film festivals in the world. And when I was at Wildscreen in England, I was sitting at a table. They had, I think, 10 tables set up in the front of this beautiful auditorium. And they had all of the best wildlife filmmakers in the world were there, like the heads of National Geographic and IMAX filmmakers. And I mean, I'm sitting at these tables, and I'm 2 seats away from Sir David Attenborough, and all these like directors are all around me, and I'm like, what am I doing here? You know, it was really weird. And so it was really pretty cool. But anyway. If you don't love this film, I'll give you your money back. Same thing with the book. And the film sells for $20. The book is $45. But if you buy them together, you can get the film for only $10 extra. If you guys want a copy, if you want your picture that was taken today, they're $20 for the picture. If you buy it in combination with some of the other stuff. Everybody have a good time? Yeah. If you didn't have fun today, you just can't have fun anywhere you go. Or you were seasick. Does anybody have any questions? No questions?
What are all the birds that are perched on the seawall?
Mostly they're gulls, but there's also brown pelicans, and there's some cormorants usually up there.
Okay.
It's quite a variety of birds. Yeah.
How fast can those dolphins get going?
Yeah, I was about to say, how fast
well, they average about 4 knots, but when they really want to go, they can do probably 18 to 22 knots. Really get up to go, but only for short bursts. Mostly they're not going to go that fast. 1.11 miles an hour is a knot. 1.11.
That's incredible.
How concerned about the Japanese tsunami and stuff are you thinking it's going to make it over here?
You know, I've heard different things. I tend to be one of those people that doesn't really think about it until I have to. You know, when I go out one day and there's a bunch of crap out here, I'll know, okay, we got a problem now. but you know, I've certainly heard some stuff. You know, stuff is heading our way, and you know, so I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just not one of those people that, you know, I got enough to worry about it without adding stuff that might happen to my list.
Is there no museum or like aquarium or something you got?
Well, the Ocean Institute is over there, but I don't think they're open to the public during the week. I think just on the weekend, but you can walk over there or drive over there and see. They don't really have, it's not like a full-on aquarium kind of a thing anyway. It's probably not what you're thinking of. I mean, they have some exhibits and things, but it's not like the Aquarium of the Pacific, or which is in Long Beach, or the Birch Aquarium.
They sell books?
They do, yeah. They sell some books and things. And we sell some here too. I'll be telling you about those in a minute. Anybody else have a question? Dolphins, whales, yes?
Dolphin and bottlenose, they kind of tend to stay separate? Or do they
Yeah, usually we don't usually see them in the same zones. The bottlenose tend to, the coastal bottlenose feed on a lot of bottom fish and stuff, and they're not usually going to be out where the common dolphin are feeding on the sardines. Sometimes the bottlenose will go after the squid, the offshore ones. We don't usually see them all together. We see bottlenose and Rizzo's dolphin together a lot, but not so much the bottlenose and common dolphin.
How many types of dolphins are there?
Well, we have in this area we have about 5 different species that we see on a regular basis. Bottlenose dolphin, common dolphin. We have long and short-beaked common dolphin, and then Rizzo's dolphin and Pacific white-sided dolphin. Those are the main ones we see in this area.
What was Flipper?
Flipper was an Atlantic bottlenose dolphin. There's actually 7 dolphins that played Flipper, and they were all Atlantic bottlenose dolphins.
Do you
Are
have
the
difficulty that people would object to following the whales as around the thing?
Most people that go whale watching are there because they want to see the whales. Every now and then I'll find somebody that thinks it's wrong to follow the whales, but it's pretty rare. It's not. I think the thing to remember about whale watching is that it's actually making it safer for the whales by us following them, because what we're doing is we're creating an awareness of the whale and teaching people about their lives and letting them see the whales. And so then if somebody wants to, for example, if somebody says, well, you know, we're going to charge you an extra $5 so that we can clean up the storm drain water before it comes out into the ocean. You know, somebody that's been out to see the whales and the dolphins and sees all this life out here, they might say, yeah, that's $5 to do that, to protect all the animals, sure. Somebody that's never been out here might just say, what do I need to pay? I never go to the beach, what do I care? You know, $5.